Hey there, everyone. It's Kathy Mazak, and we are here for day 2 of the Summer Writing Challenge. Now, you will see that I am still in bed, but it's all good. I'm feeling better than yesterday in terms of my back, but I am doing a little bit of rest now since I spent the morning dealing with my car that wasn't working. So that's why this video is happening so late. But welcome as you're joining. Pop a comment in and let me know how you're doing, where you're joining from. I'm just going to re-situate myself real quick. Okay, that's better. Yay. All right, so today we are talking about a topic that actually came up on yesterday's live video, and that is about structuring unstructured time and how we can create a structure for writing in the summer or really writing during any unstructured time like a research leave or a sabbatical or whatever. And what I'm going to teach you today also works for structuring during structured time. But anyway, what we want to do is we want to tackle creating some kind of structure in our writing process for the summer. So hi, Kimberly Hale. Nice to see you. Yay. Hello, everyone. Cool. Oh, good, Kimberly. Well, good. I'm glad, Kimberly, that you're in your favorite coffee shop seat. I'm sorry you're grading. Hi, Laura in Victoria, BC. Such a beautiful place. And Trisha in Nashville. And hello, Tracy and Alice. And I'm going to say Mine. I don't know if that's your name. Okay. Hi, Catherine Soto from California. Cool. So it's nice to see everybody. Sarah in Boston. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So here's what we're going to do to create structure for unstructured time. So let's talk first about like kind of mistakes about writing structure, and then we'll talk about how to solve those mistakes. So a big problem that many people have is that we have a belief that in order to get our writing done, we need big blocks of time. And so we think big blocks of time are like, I'm going to reserve every Friday or every second Friday for, all 8 hours of the day for writing. Or, I'm just going to leave my writing for spring break where I can write all day, every day. Or I'm going to leave my writing for the summer when I'm not teaching or when I'm teaching less or whatever. A lot of people teach during the summer. The rhythm of the summer tends to be a little different than the other semesters. So we think we have a lot of time. So the first mistake is thinking that you need a big block of time to get writing done. And I actually feel like I work better unless I'm on a writing retreat. I work better with non-big blocks of time, okay, with shorter blocks of time, 1 hour to 2 hour blocks of time. But I'm going to qualify that a little bit and teach more about that on Friday. But that's generally what I would say you should be shooting for in terms of writing blocks in the summer and all the time. I would say that if you think that you're going to write anywhere above 3 hours a day, you're probably not. Okay. So you might be kind of dreaming of those big blocks of time, and thinking like, well, once I have those big blocks, then I'm going to be able to get everything done. But actually you kind of get less writing done. So I'll explain that in a second. So one thing I want you to get rid of is the myth about needing big blocks of time. The exception to that rule is possibly a writing retreat or a specialized writing sprint activity or something, but still sitting down and doing really like pen to paper writing for hours and hours, anything more than 3 hours a day, and even 3 is pushing it, is really unrealistic. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's unrealistic. Well, one reason is that it's not usually sustainable for the energy levels of most people to be able to do like writing that still feels good in terms of your energy and your drive and your focus after that many hours. Okay, so that's one reason. Another reason is that it's very unlikely that if you got 6 or 8 hours, that they would stay uninterrupted. Like it's just, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying it's very rare. So what we don't want to do is think, let's go in the summer and Monday through Friday, I'm going to write for 6 hours a day because it's just not going to happen. And just like we talked about yesterday with goal setting, what's going to happen is that when you continually don't reach that goal, then you're going to feel bad about it. So what we want to do instead is we want to set up small writing blocks, and we want to say that our goal is to write 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day for 2 to 3 days a week, and be able to meet that goal successfully. So that's the recommendation that I actually give for summer writing is that, like, I recommend 1 to 2 hours a day for 3 to 5 days a week and not more than that. So what you want to do then is figure out how you're going to distribute those writing blocks through the week. And that's when we come up, we can use another activity to figure that out and give more structure. And that's to come up with your ideal week for this summer. Now, this is an activity that I teach inside of my courses, but I want to teach it to you today. Just talk about it, and then you can go and do it, which is creating an ideal week plan. It's not your actual week, okay? It's your ideal week. And what you want to do is you want to think about, like, what are your obligations, your weekly obligations this summer, and how can we lay that out and plan kind of an ideal summer week, which would be different from our ideal semester week. Megan, yes, I will repeat that. So my recommendation for summer writing hours is we don't want to think that we're going to, do 6 hours a day for 5 days a week. We want to do like 1 to 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 days per week. If you really feel like you can sustain working on your writing every day, like every weekday, I'm going to say, then you could go up to 5 days a week. But I'm going to say that just like we think we need big blocks of time to get our writing done, and that those blocks of time are going to come in the summer, we also imagine that the summer becomes this like catch-all bucket for lots of things that we should do that we put off until the summer, okay? And I'm talking things about just like, health maintenance stuff, like seeing the doctor or, shopping for a certain thing, like, oh, this summer I'm going to redo my home office, so I'm going to go buy bookshelves and stuff at Marshall's and whatever you're going to do. I think that you should be planning as part of your ideal week in the summer. I think that you should plan to have time for all of that stuff, like the doctor's appointment stuff, the things you've been putting off until summer stuff. If we're talking about like redoing your, my husband's of course calling me while I'm live, redoing your cleaning out your office, all those things that you keep saying, oh, I'll do that when the semester's over. You want to actually spend some time doing that, Oh my gosh, husband, I'm live. Okay, sorry. So what you want to do is create an ideal week. And in the summer, what I do is like I take a whole day during the ideal week time for all of that stuff. Okay. And if you can't take a whole day, then what you want to do is you want to plan a certain morning or afternoon for that stuff. Okay. So think about all the things that you promised yourself you would do during the summer that you've been putting off, and go ahead. And what you're going to do, the ideal week thing is like, basically you get out a piece of paper and you write down all the days and you write down all the blocks, the like hour blocks along the side. And you figure out, like, if I could have the perfect week or the ideal week, how would I spend each of my hours? When would my writing blocks be? So if we're going for 1 to 2 hours of writing 2 to 3 times a week, sketch them into your calendar. We're going to talk on Friday. On Friday, the live is going to be a little bit more extended, and I'm going to be teaching the Tiger Time method that I've talked about in other places before. But it's always good to hear again about how to write more without big blocks of time, and I'll be teaching you how to do that on Friday. So make sure you come on Friday. And so you'll want to sketch those out on the ideal week. sketch out like, okay, this is my day. You know, I'm reserving Wednesdays for my running around business that I need to do days, you know. I'm gonna schedule an hour a day for working out or taking a walk or whatever. I'm gonna read for this certain number of hours a day. And it's like, you know, the idea is ideal. Then you can line it up with your actual schedule. That's, you know, a different process. But ideal is like, you know, this is what I dream will happen over the summer. And I do this basically at the beginning of every semester and at the beginning of the summer. I think like, how would I pace my day? What things would I do at what time to get my writing done and the other things that I want to do in the summer done? So that creates a structure. So yes, you are creating structure from the outside. You're imposing a structure on yourself. And just like everything we do, especially with academic writing, where for a lot of things don't have deadlines, right? Like we have to, you know, make a plan and then we have to stick to our plan. Okay. So if you need to create your ideal schedule, keep it in your planner, hang it up. You can even block it out on your Google Calendar. In the Organize Your Academic Life course, we do this with the Trello board. You know, however you're going to like note to yourself your ideal calendar, maybe you want to put on there, stick to the plan, the mantra, stick to the plan. If Shauna's watching, she knows that's our mantra. Just stick to the plan. You're good at making a plan. Now it's time to stick to it. Okay. Because here's what we're preventing when we are thinking about creating this ideal week and this structure for ourselves. What we're preventing is setting a too high unrealistic goal for amount of hours of writing. Okay, we really don't want to do that because as we've been saying, as we said yesterday, and as I'm going to continue to talk about tomorrow, what we're doing is setting up happy feelings between us and our writing. We want to set ourselves up for success. Hi, Shauna. We want to set ourselves up for success. We want to make sure that we're hitting goals that we set for ourselves. So we want to feel what it feels like to hit writing goals. And the summer's a great time to kind of set that up. So my suggestion for you then, in terms of creating structure during the summer when you might not have any, is to create an ideal week calendar. And you want to put in there, you know, like I said, 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3, 4 tops times per week. And you want to block it out as like appointments on your schedule. For me, it works best to do things in the morning and then, you know, to do my writing in the morning and then go on with other things during my day. It could be like, just to give you some suggestions and thoughts. If you have kids going to camp, which is what my summer is going to be, I drop off kiddos and then maybe I sit at the coffee shop and write for an hour or 2 hours. And then I run other errands and then I get the kids and whatever, or, you know, whatever the process is going to be, you want to create a structure for yourself that is going to be successful. And then you're not going to just be throwing it out the window every single week, right? Like sometimes we might want to take a spontaneous trip and not do, you know, let's go to the beach for the day or whatever. And we're not following our ideal schedule, but you've already come up with some kind of structure that you can follow. Okay, Sarah says, do you include other life things that seem to always take time that I never schedule, like lunch breaks and cooking? Yes, that's absolutely what I include in my ideal week. Do I have it within reach? I do not. Let me just real quick, I'm going to go into Trello. I'm going to show you my ideal week Trello board, which is inside of a couple of different programs. Oops, and I said the word program, and I wrote the word program. Ideal week. I'm searching in the wrong place. You would think I don't. So what I do with the ideal week. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Come back. Where am I? Share my screen. Okay, here's my Trello board that is inside one of my courses. as a template, the ideal week board. So basically, you can see across the top, the lists are Monday through Friday. And then I have hour blocks as cards. And then I have categories of things. And the concept behind the ideal week is that, like, categories of stuff. So I have my tiger writing time with a certain color. I have answering email at a certain, this is a fake one. This is just a template board. It's not what I actually do. I have research. I have self-maintenance, which can be lots of different stretching and walking and body maintenance stuff, whatever, meetings. And you basically make sure that you have a little structure. This is very much like a stacking system. So I got Tuesdays and Thursdays are one kind of thing, and Mondays and Wednesdays are different. Let me see if I can find this summer board. Is another, that's different. Sorry, I'm clicking through. Let's see if I have ideal weekly calendar. This is a real one. Okay. So this is how I divide up my business stuff and my other stuff. So you can see so this one has personal stuff on it. That's what I'm trying to answer Sarah's question. So I have family drop off. I do the drop off. Husband does the pickup. I have my tiger time. I have co-writing sessions like with the Writing Collective, time for webinars and live videos, and this is kind of, these are meeting times on my campus. I do students and prep here. I don't know. So family, like Mariana, that's my oldest, has an after school activity that day. We have times for planning the next day. So you can see what I mean here, I hope. Like we are like trying to put in, especially for the summer schedule and the ideal week, you do put that stuff in the other life tasks as you're calling them. Because again, ideal, right? Like we want to definitely use the summer to try to enact our ideal plans, where we cook for ourselves, where we take the walk we said we were going to take, where we stretch, and all those things. So that's my advice for you for creating structure. And again, this kind of exercise here works for sabbaticals, and it works for research leaves, and it works for anything that needs some structure to it. The idea is simply to create a structure for yourself and then stick to your plan. So I hope that helps. And I'm just going to kind of pick up on a thread that we've been talking about and introduce tomorrow's topic. So, so for tomorrow's topic, we're going to talk about, so the thread that I want to remind you of is creating a positive feedback loops between you and your writing. And we do that by setting attainable goals, and that kind of thing. We talked about yesterday, setting ourselves up through, for success in terms of our expectations about how much writing we're going to get done this summer. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about setting up rewards so that you have like a consistent reward system for yourself, for your writing. And that's going to be tomorrow's topic. Okay. Sarah said, wow, even 45 minutes, you are just able to switch right into writing tasks because I do not do anything else. So that 45 minutes is my first 45 minutes of the day when I sit down after I drop everybody off. I don't open email or check social media or anything. Again, ideally, like sometimes, I might slip and check Facebook first, but that's not the idea. The idea is I sit down, and that's my tiger time. And I'm going to be talking more about tiger time on Friday. It's my most focused time of the day, and I'm very aware of the fact that I can crank out writing during that time, and I hoard that time. It's like very special to me. So even if I get 45 minutes of it, I can make big progress because it's my best time of day. So that's why 45 minutes is okay. And actually that 45 minutes backs up onto an hour of co-writing that I do with my community, the Academic Women's Writing Collective. And so all I'm doing there is like taking a bathroom break at 9 o'clock and then turning my video on so I can be writing with my group. So it's really an hour and 45 minutes of writing in the morning on a Monday. And that's my best writing time all week. because I don't let anything else from the week scrunch into that writing time. Um, Yay, Sarah, I'm glad you found it helpful. Yay. Megan says, I think the hardest part is having everything organized and ready to go so you can jump right in, as well as having your task well defined. Yes, I agree. So one thing, actually somebody emailed me, and I'm sorry that I don't remember your name because I responded to your email today. Somebody emailed me and said, what should I do if I'm on a roll? Like when I'm writing, should I stop? So there's a school of writing coaching or advice that teaches that you should stop when you're on a roll. And this is something that I think you should just figure out, for yourself. But here's something to try. So you are writing and, time's up, but you have a little extra time. You could keep going. You can decide to keep going, or you can stop and write in the document you're working on little breadcrumbs as to like what you're going to work on next. And then you're kind of set up to sit down and start again in your next writing block, the next day or the day after tomorrow or whatever. So the idea is that you stop before you're really finished, because it gives you like a good place to start the next time. And so you're not starting and just like staring at the page like, what was I going to say again? But like you leave yourself some little clues, like just write yourself a couple notes about where your argument's going, and that's it. So and again, like Megan's saying, if you have your tasks broken out and well defined, then it's easier to start like fast and not have to ease into things. Mine says, when do you do your readings? Right. So I don't, unless I sit down, I'm having trouble writing during my tiger time, then I save my readings for the afternoon. And I wish I had near me. No, it's in the other room, so I can't grab it. But I like to do like my really, really ideal schedule. And this one that I showed you was for my ideal week for a semester that I teach. But so I just redid it for summer. And it's like drop everybody off, write, check in with my team, because I have a team of people who help me with the writing coaching stuff. And then eat an early lunch. And then read, and then walk, and then read, or read and then walk, depending on, I can't remember what I said. But the idea is the walking gives me time to think about what I've read or what I've written. I try to walk without headphones on. And then, and the reading, like I would rather do in the afternoon when I have a little dip in energy, because I want to use all my energy for writing. So that's a good question, but you have to figure out what's good for you. Like, when do you do your readings for you, like when's the best time for you? Maybe first thing in the morning is your best time to read, and your better time to write is in the afternoon. And you want to go ahead and like use the summer to kind of play with some of these ideas and what might feel right, and to try something different. So like, I love the idea of using the summer to try a technique you've never tried before, to try to do some of these exercises I'm suggesting and implement some of these happy writing feedback loops in your writing practice. So today's video happened very late in the afternoon because of things beyond my control. But my plan has been to do these videos at like 10 o'clock in the morning every day. But I promise that if you have signed up for the Writing Challenge, and you're watching because you signed up for the Writing Challenge and got an email, then you'll definitely get an email at least an hour in advance before I go live. I just dropped the link in the comments, maybe. Did I? Did it work? Yes, for signing up for the Writing Challenge. So if you're watching and you haven't signed up and you want to make sure you get an email reminder, that's the link. That's the place to go sign up for that. I hope you're having a very wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.